Okay. Now calling case number 24C3758. This is Sharon Coward versus Wolverine Auto Repair. So Ms. Coward, can you
Yes,
please?
ma'am.
Okay, thank you. State your name for the record for me again, please.
Sharon Coward, Coward.
Okay, thank you. So today's the date set for a small claims hearing in this matter.
Yes, ma'am.
So I am seeing that this was filed back in October. It looks like you tried to go to mediation and were unsuccessful. You're requesting
Yes, ma'am.
damages in the amount of $1,794. Is that right?
Plus court costs.
Yes, plus the court costs, which I have as $70. Is that right?
Oh, the amount is altogether is $1,870. I'm going for the court costs, the parts, and what I had, the parts messed up my transmission. I have to have another transmission. I had to pay $1,500 for a new transmission, ma'am.
Okay, so
I have all my paperwork.
Okay, so okay, give me just a moment.
Okay. I have all the paperwork that that I got from them, and they, I tried to settle it with them, but they told me no, they don't. I'll have to talk to me no more.
Okay. So did they give you a written estimate? Well, here, wait, stop. Let me swear
No,
you
they
here.
They never.
Ma'am, before you say anything else, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Do you
yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So I just asked if they gave you a written estimate. Did they give you a written estimate?
No, ma'am. When they come up at the, which one time of my what estimate from where when I took my car and they messed it up, they never called me and told me anything that they've done to the car. They never said, well, Miss Coward, you need this. Miss Coward, you need that. When I called them on the 29th and told them, I said, well, I'll be to get my car. So when I went to get my car on the 30th the next day, they come giving me a price. Said I owe $294. I say, for what? They said, lady, we just put a new part on your car. And I said, what was it? They never told me. They never told me what they put on my car. And I left the premises.
Oh, did they give you any
paperwork? No, the only paperwork they gave me is when I first went in. When I first went in, Judge, when I first went in, they never called me and told me. And I asked for paperwork. They said, you fine, you fine, you fine. And they put the part on the car. I paid the $294 and I left. A couple hours after that, I come right back. My car would not reverse. And I come right back. And when I come back, they said, wasn't nobody there to help me. So I had to come back the next day. So each time that I left there, I had to come back. Somebody had to push me so I could drive back there.
Okay. So
when I went back.
Okay, so ma'am, just let me ask a couple questions real quick, okay? So you're saying that they gave you paperwork at first, but they didn't give you like an actual estimate of how much it might cost?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
They did not call me to even tell me what was wrong. They just put the part on.
And then when you left, they didn't give you any sort of like written statement about.
No, I got an invoice.
Okay.
They got an invoice with just the $294 that I paid. That's all.
And it didn't say anything else.
Anything else?
Okay.
And when I went, Judge, when I went back on the 2nd, they told me, well, you got to come back. Ain't nobody here to help you. So I drove in. I went to turn around in front of the place, in the parking lot, where the office and everything is. And the car did it again. It wouldn't reverse. I couldn't back up. So the guys, they looked at me, and I said, well, you guys, would you please just help me push out and I'll come back tomorrow? They said, ma'am, you cannot leave here with this car. They said, you have to let us stay here till tomorrow. So I let us stay there. They told me to get out. A guy got in and stirred, and the guys made it, pushed it so it could park. So the next day, on the 3rd, I went back. And they said, I said, well, what was wrong? They said, well, lady, we ordered another part. I said, another part? They said, yeah. So I sat there.
So at this point, it sounds like they didn't give you a written estimate. When they were done, you're saying that they...
okay, when I went in, they did not call me.
Yes.
Or tell me what was wrong with my car, anything.
Okay.
When they found out I was coming to get my car the next day, they came up and gave me, they said, you owe $294. I say, for what?
Yes.
They say, lady, we just put a new part on your car. So I'm 71. I didn't know, so I paid them. And I left in the car, and when I got home, I could not back up to leave home.
Yes.
So I come back, and they said, well, nobody there to help me. So on the 2nd, when I went in, and they told me to come back, they said, well, they out, come back. So when I said, okay, so when I proceeded to back up to leave up from their property,
yes, that's
the car would not reverse.
Yes, and they told you to get out and that you couldn't drive it back home. Yes. And then you said that they told you that they ordered another part, and you're saying that they never told you what these parts were. Is that correct? They never gave it to you?
Never.
Right? Okay.
Never. They gave me the part. The first part that they put on is on this invoice. So the second one they put on, I said, oh, what I owe you, what up? They said, you don't owe nothing, just leave, just leave, just leave. So I did. I left, and I went to Canton. This on the 3rd. I went to Canton, went shopping and came back out and everything. I could not leave Canton if it wasn't for these nice guys pushing me back so I could drive back to them.
Okay.
I drove back to them, and I said, you guys, I say, somebody drive this car. So Mr. Sammy, the manager, got in the car. He drove it back to the back in the back. And then 10 minutes later, he came back, scratching his head. And he said, those parts that we put on, those 2 parts that we put on, they failed. Now your car will not reverse or it will not drive. I said, oh, wow. I said, okay, but just, can I get my car? He says, no. I said, no. He said, it can't reverse and it can't drive. I said, well, I'm not going to leave my car here. So I called AAA, and AAA went back wherever they had it at, and they towed it out.
Okay.
totaled out for plate, and I took it to another auto place on the 3rd, and I got it fixed on the 19th. I got the paperwork and everything that they told. It's got on there that those 2 parts that they put on there, they the ones that burned up my transmission.
Okay.
I have the paperwork,
Okay.
and he charged me $1,500.
Okay. So
And I tried after I got it, after he fixed it, I tried to go back twice to talk to him so we could work something out. They told me they didn't have nothing, they don't have nothing else to do with me no more. I said, well, I'm going to have to take you to court. And Mr. Family Guy, the manager, he said, well, I'll see you in court.
Okay. So thank you for all of the information. And they did not show up for court today. Okay. And based on the testimony that you've provided, I am going to find for you, okay, against them. I'm going to enter a default judgment against Wolverine Auto Repair for damages in the amount of $1,794 and costs in the amount of $70 for a total judgment amount of $1,864. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I will say that they have 7 days to appeal this. Okay, so they could file an appeal. If they file an appeal, it'll be heard again by the judge, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so you are going to get a copy of this in the mail, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, if you have any questions about what to do next, you should hopefully have gotten some information in with your court paperwork, but you can call the clerks and ask for more information. They have a pamphlet that they can send to you. They cannot give legal advice, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
So how much you said you was gonna award me?
$1,864.
Okay, it wasn't okay. This better. The whole thing was supposed to be $1,870. But I appreciate you, Judge. I appreciate you because I'm on a fixed income and I didn't have that money. I appreciate you.
Well, you are welcome. Okay. And you are free to hang up.
Okay, so how will I know they gonna pay me?
Well, they're gonna get a copy of this as well. Okay. They may, like I said, they may end up filing an appeal. We'll have to see what they do. Okay.
Well, why didn't they show today? Is there any reason?
I have absolutely no idea. Okay.
Oh. Okay, I have the parts that they took off that messed up my car. Do I return it to them?
Okay, so
or do nothing?
Okay, I can't tell you what to do. Okay, so I will say that you'll get a copy of this in the mail, and otherwise we are finished. All right.
Okay.